Hari Om all Atma Jyotis. Welcome to Gita Gnana Yagna sessions. So today we are contemplating on Sankhya Yoga, which is the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And we have already started the Sankhya Yoga contemplation. So what we saw until now was Sankhya Yoga chapter itself covers complete information about the whole entire Gita is present in just one chapter called Sankhya Yoga. And so the first part where Arjuna, after throwing away his weapons, he surrenders to Krishna. He says he is not having any clarity. He needs some clarity. And then Krishna takes up the role of the Guru. And then after that, Krishna goes on to explain what is Sankhya principles. He doesn't go in detail, but he says how there is no death. There is no death basically, and uh, how one should be a Sakshi, how Arjuna should be a Sakshi, and he is not doing any mistake in taking up the weapons. So we should understand the severity of the situation. It's like if we cannot relate to what could have happened in the war times in the olden days, we can consider something like in today's situation, somebody, an army man, okay, an army, they are trying to protect a country. Now there is a war that is happening in the border, and the uh, army man, he's a warrior. Okay, he doesn't want to use the gun. He wants to run away from the battle. So who will protect the country? We should understand the severity of the situation like this. That too for a warrior like Arjuna, who is a Maharati, who can combat 60 other warriors at a time. He is that very powerful. If Arjuna comes to the field, all the warriors, they will run away. They will fear that now I'll be killed. That's how powerful Arjuna is. Such a powerful person. If he drops the weapons, then what will happen to his people, his other who are subordinate of him? They will also lose the uh, you know. Uh, inspiration to fight. They will also lose the courage to fight. So, such a person who is a leader, he cannot do such things. In fact, Bhagavad Gita or any this kind of spiritual knowledge is given, if it is given to very influential people, if it is given to kings, if it's given to somebody who runs the government, somebody who's in very high position, somebody who's healthy, fit, um, somebody who can influence their presence in the society. If such a person is given Atmagnana, if such a person is given the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then they will be able to influence many other people. Say if a person is not healthy, if a person is very sick, you go and tell Atmagnana to such a person, you go and tell Bhagavad Gita to he himself, I myself, I'm struggling whether I should die or live. I'm eating so many medicine. For the person, the body himself itself is not supporting for the for that jivatma. Then how about spreading the knowledge to many? So that will not happen. So Krishna is giving Bhagavad Gita to the right person. Arjuna is a king. Arjuna is a warrior. Arjuna is a leader, and Arjuna is all fit and ready to spread it to the rest of the world. This is in this context, and then Krishna goes on to explain how there is no death and all that, and then he goes on to say, he also goes on to say, like how a person changes garments. Generally, what we say, death, when the person dies, maybe we say a person died, a person passed away. What happens during that time is the garment of the body that the person is wearing is worn out, and it takes another body. It need not be a human body. This is very important. This is very important to get it right, because people are just taking one human life oh just very unconsciously, very easily. So we should not take it that way, because when we say a person dies, that jivatma can take up any yoni. It need not be a human. It need not be in this world. It need not be in this earthly plane at all. It can be in any plane, and even in this earthly plane, it can be in any. It can be an insect life. It can be a, any life. It can be a human life as well. That's there is only a very slight possibility that one can get into human life, which is very rare. Okay, rarest of the rarest possibilities. One can say, oh, there are 8 billion people, Pallavi. Come on, why do you say rarest of the rarest? 8 billion people is not a rare thing for us. But we should also consider number of bees, number of beetles, number of insects, number of ants, number of animals, number of plant life, number of amoeba, bacteria, all the prototypes or all the other micro. If we consider the complete srishti, the complete life form, considering that this 8 billion is a very tiny number, okay, and even in this human life, not everyone gets exposure to spirituality. People are living only unconscious life, um, without without even caring about anything. So from here, let's continue. We had started covered a bit about karma yoga in our previous session. So we have some more left in the karma yoga part, which is the third part of the Sankhya Yoga, where Krishna goes on to talk a little bit about Karma Yoga to Arjuna. Over here, uh, so we would want to understand what is Karma Yoga. So there is something called yoga and there is something called viyoga. Okay. So what viyoga is, when yoga is not happening, then that is viyoga. Yoga can happen only in the present moment. When a person gets connected to any, while doing any job, it need not be, it can be just drinking water, it can be just cooking, it can be just cleaning, it can be just working on computer, it can be just running, climbing, gardening, it could be just anything, or it could just be listening. At that moment the person gets uh, connected to the self. Say for example, um, uh, there's something called doer, deed, and action. Okay. So, say a person paints. That is the doer. The person who paints is the doer. The painting, that final product, that is the deed. And there is an action, painting, that is going on. When the person is doing this happily, joyfully, the person forgets himself or herself. There's no doership happening at that time. I am painting is not the thing at that present moment. In that present moment, there is no doership. So the doer, the painting, the product, and the action, the painting itself, the action itself, all three becomes one entity. The doer gets connected to the painting. That connection, and it is very tiny moment. It is not a lengthy time span. Okay, it is a very tiny, minuscule moment. At that moment, when the person gets connected, there is non-duality. There is no separate painting. There is no. The person would have forgotten about the world. The person would not even be remembering. The person is standing there or sitting there. Will not be aware of the body himself or herself. So at that time, there is non-duality. There is no duality in the all three, doer, deed, and action. All three becomes just one entity. Like after 2 or 3 hours passed, and the person then he or she will realize, oh, the time has already passed. Okay, the person was not even aware of the time and space. That is connection. That is yoga. At that moment, there is yoga that is happening, and there is no time and space in it. So time and space, whenever there is time and space, say if I don't like a work, tomorrow it is Monday. Monday morning, I don't want to go to work. Uh, even to switch, even to do work from home, even to switch on the laptop, I'll be like, oh, I should switch on the laptop. Oh, Monday started, that Monday morning blues. While I'm doing that, I'm not liking the job. So the time is not moving at all. When I'm not liking something, time is not. I'm seeing the time every other minute. Oh, it's not moving at all. It's so much work. I'm not liking it. Okay, I can see the time and space. So the time and space accounts for Maya. Time and space. When we say time and space, that's because it's happening because of Maya. Because Maya is ignorance. Because of ignorance, it covers. Ignorance is a veil. It has covered. Because of the ignorance, the time and space happens. Otherwise, if I like a like a job, like to do something. Say if I want to do gardening, I'm doing gardening. I'm watering the plant. I'm liking it so much that me, the plant, and the watering, all three became just one. The time and space disappeared. At that moment, non-duality is happening, and it is very moment to moment. It is happening that you and I, we are not able to clearly cut through and see through it. But if a person keeps repeating this karma yoga, this connection, moment to moment connection, how to keep it permanently present is, if we keep increasing the karma yoga part, then at some point it will increase. How do I do it? I can't just because I like, see, some person could be a painter. He Because he likes painting, because while he is doing painting, the time and space disappears. He takes up his profession itself as a painting. He starts doing painting, he starts selling painting, so he's not worried about time and space at all. Okay, all the time he's connected to painting, all the time non-duality. But for everyone, that doesn't happen. I can't take up gardening as my full-time job. I can't take up something else as my somebody whom I know. He likes hiking and trekking, so he took up trekking and hiking itself as his permanent job. So, but I can't be doing that. I can't do a job which I like all the time. Not everybody is lucky enough to have their hobby as a job. So they can't do karma yoga with their hobby all the time. Instead, what they can do is whatever job they do, they should be fully focused. That is 100% involvement. Like how the painter likes his job, while he is painting, he is 100% involved, so very involved that the time and space disappears. In the same way, whatever work I'm doing, if I give my 100%, say for example, if like I said about the person who likes trekking or hiking, he likes to hike and he enjoys doing it, and he does. Say if he says, Pallavi, you also come. If I don't like, for example, then I also somehow forcibly go on trekking. Then I'm like, I'm worried about the heights. I'm worried about my leg pain, or maybe I'm worried about, oh, what will happen tomorrow, who will take care of my child, who is, you know all the while I'm trekking, I'm only worried about what happened in the home, what happened to my child, what happened to the office tomorrow. All the while the mind is in future or in the past. All the while it's in fear. So my 100% is not in it, because the mind is jumping between past and future, past and future, past and future. It's not in the present moment at all. Because it is not in the present moment, there is no yoga that is happening. That is, moment to moment connection is not happening. And this moment to moment connection is happening with what? With whom? To your own higher self. And your own higher self is Brahman, is Paramatma. And it happens with a very, very, very tiny amount of time that you are not able to see it clearly. Say, for example, in the olden days, how the picture, olden, the cinema and all, if you had seen, the frames will move. We can see the frames that is moving. Now also it is happening, but you are not able to see because it's very fast. If it's very fast, you can't see the frames moving. In the same way, the moment to moment yoga is happening if you do karma yoga. 100%. And it's so quick that you're not able to visualize it. And at some point, when there is inner purification that is happening, when this is happening, inner purification is also happening, very importantly. Okay. And when this inner purification is happening, at some point, the gnana will happen when it is connected to your own higher self, when it is connected to Paramatma, when the Karma Yoga is happening. And um, yeah, so we spoke about these four people, for everybody starts as a karmi only. I will just share this. No. Everybody starts from karmi only. Everybody is a karmi. Okay, there is a strong doership attached to it. Oh, I am doing it. I am doing it for my benefit. I am doing it for my family benefit, to my family to grow. I want money. That is why I am working. Everybody, everything is happening because of me. There's a strong hold on the doership. So such a person is called karmi. If somebody is a karmi, it's okay, not to worry. Everybody started being a karmi only. No, nobody is exempt from this. After being karmi for many lifetimes, a person is evolved to become a dharmi, where there is still the doership present, but is doing more charitable acts, more doing more to good to the society, more doing more seva, all that kind of things. So I'm from there on doing more dharmic activities basically. And from there on, a person becomes a yogi. How a person becomes a yogi? A person does more and more of dharmic activities, and now it is a divine work. There is the doership is dissolving. Uh, Now the karma yogi thinks that God is everything is happening on its own. God is doing it. I am not doing anything. I am not responsible for anything. Say, for example, even for this class to happen, if only I was present, I could not take the class. There was no, if nobody else was present here, I could not take the class. So I did not make it happen. Say, even for this class to happen, you all should have had internet connection. I should have had internet connection. If this suddenly the internet something power goes off, something laptop breaks or something happens, it doesn't. Nothing will. No, it's not in my control. It's not in your control. So the entire universe is making it happen. So the Karma Yogi realizes that he or she is not responsible for any action that is happening. Everything is a divine action. I am only the instrument in this action. And from there on, a person becomes a gnani. How does what does a gnani do? We'll discuss about gnani in the next section. What does a gnani do? Gnani works only for Loka Kalyana. Now there is no doership. When the person becomes a gnani, when the self-realization dawns in a person, then such a person, in such a person, there is no doership. Zero. There is no doership. There is no person involved while the person is, when the gnani is working. So, and whatever action the gnani does it only for Loka Kalyana. So now you should assess where do you stand. With the help of this, you will be able to progress spiritually. So you should assess whether I'm a karmi or whether I'm a dharmi or whether I'm a karma yogi or whether I'm a gnani. Now there are many possibilities. See, a person can, uh, we see, in the world, uh, people become terrorists. People kill babies. There are many such people, okay? All these people, some people, they all take up the Rakshasa gunas. It's not like somewhere the two horns will be there, the teeth will come out, only that person is called Rakshasa. No. Rakshasa is all those tamasa guna is inside a human being only. It comes out in the form of all destructive things in the society. Okay. Now there are many positive. I can take up a job of a Rakshasa where I can start destroying the country, destroying the things. That is a possibility. Some people do it. Okay. It is the individual's will. Take whether I want to do it that way or not. Now the intellect comes into picture. It is wrong. I don't want to do it. Or there is another kind of thing. Uh, People simply live an animalistic life. Okay. How does an animal live? Animal does only four things. Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, Maituna. So food, Ahara, Nidra, food, Ahara, Nidra is sleep. Bhaya is fear. It's only fight and flight. Fear. If any other predator comes, the animal runs away. So Bhaya, Maituna, sex. So animal. This is all an animal does in its entire life. There are many people who are living just for these four things. There's no human consciousness in such people. Only eat, sleep, and die. That's it. Nothing. Nothing. No other actual flavor, humanly thing involved in their life. Right. So either a person can choose to be live in animal life, or I can be a dharmi. I can do more seva, more dharmic activities, or I can do yagna. What is yagna? We will learn in the next chapter, which is Karma Yoga. I can do more of divine activities. Yagna. I can live my life with yagna bhava. Same life, no change, not much change in life. The same life I can live with yagna bhava. So such a person will become a karma yogi. Or I have another beautiful possibility, which is to self-realize myself. This is the highest any human being can experience. There are possibilities. There is another best possibility, which is self-realization. With this, a person can become a gnani. And um, for now, we are receiving the knowledge. We are receiving the knowledge from Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is teaching us. And with uh, this knowledge is called Paroksha Gnana. We receive teaching from highest teachings, and it is told by Krishna to us. You and me, we are listening from Krishna. Such a knowledge is secondary knowledge. It's called Paroksha Gnana. Okay. With everybody will have to start with Paroksha Gnana. Okay, this is how it is. It's okay. Now we are getting the knowledge from a guru. Krishna is our guru here. He is giving us the Paroksha Gnana. He is telling this is how it is, Arjuna. We all can consider ourselves in the position of Arjuna. So Krishna is giving us all this knowledge. Now with this Paroksha Gnana, there at some there is a moment when there'll be there's something called aparoksha anubhuti. There is an inner insight that will happen. That happens. That is called, that aparoksha anubhuti is called self-realization. What is that self-realization? When will happen? It will happen now. How? Now and here. We should not say like, some people who do yoga, they say, okay, I will do yoga for some 34. I did yoga for 30. I'm doing yoga for from 30 years. From 40 years, I'm doing yoga. Mm? Some people think that I do 30 years or 40 years or 100 years of yoga. After that, Krishna will happen. After that, I will see Bhagwan. No, if it should happen, it should happen now. It is now and here. Again, now and here. Now, when I said now and here, that moment is past. Again, that became past, past tense. Now, again, it's now and here. Again, it's now and here. Again, it's now and here. Now and here. Now and here. It's not in future. It can never happen. It's not like today I'm learning the second chapter. Tomorrow, third chapter. One fine day, I will learn all 18 chapters. After 18 days, after learning 18 chapters, I will realize no, it is not a ladder to climb. It should happen now and here. It should happen now and here again. This now and here. It's like that. There's no there's no future. God is not in future. God is here and now. If we say I do yoga for 10 years and then I will get, God is in future. God is here and now. Krishna is here and now. If it should happen, it should happen now and here. Again now and here. Again now and here. Because the moment, next moment. Again, that way. And very importantly, why is Krishna teaching Karma Yoga to Arjuna? Because, say, how a Karma Yogi behaves. Karma Yogi is always focused on the result, but is not affected by the result. So this is what Krishna says, Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phale heturbu ma te sangosva karmani. Where he says, don't be affected by the result, but focus on the result. Don't, just because you should not be affected, I should stop thinking of the result. No, that's not Krishna is advising here. Be fully focused on the result. If you're not focused on the result, then there is no possibility that you will reach the result one day. No, that will not happen. You should definitely be focused on the goal. Say all these cricket players, tennis players, or all the Olympic athletes, or all these people, they all are very, very optimistic. Okay, they see themselves, they imagine themselves holding the cup. They imagine, they are very, very optimistic. They are very focused on the goal. Otherwise, they can't achieve those things. They're 100% sure that they're going to win the cup. And how this is happening? See, even as an individual, even a cricketer or a tennis player or any athlete for that sake, will have the pessimism. Will have the pessimism whether I will win or not. All this kind of the mind will come up with all kinds of stories, whether I'll be able to play the match or not, whether I'll be strong enough or not, all that. But they all have mentors. We forget that. They all have mentors who keep them going optimistically. They only make sure the player thinks only about the result, focus only on the goal, is not diverted with all unwanted stories that the mind come up with. There'll be hundreds of things happening in the media, especially in India, for where cricket is a world. There are hundreds of things happening in the media. They can pull them down so easily. It's not easy. Okay, they all have mentors who make sure that the person is focused only on the goal. But they will. What Krishna is telling here is, be focused on the goal, Arjuna. You will win the war, but don't be affected with the result of the war. Don't be attached to the result of the war. If a karma yogi is never a failure, karma yogi is always sees success because he is focused on the goal, he or she. But don't get possessed by the result. What happens? We see today Facebook, now Instagram. Everybody is looking beautiful in the Instagram. Everybody is wearing all nice clothes. Everybody is wearing all branded clothes. Everybody is traveling to all different countries, exotic locations. Every now Easter, 2 weeks, everybody is gone. Again summer, I've already booked a holiday. All expensive holidays. It's not everybody is happy. Suddenly, oh, even I want to go to all those holidays. There's lots of desire burning in a person. Okay, that's called kama. Kama is desire, any kind of desire. And If I get that desire, one, okay, I desire for something, and if I get that, then comes mada. It is kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsari. If I get the desire, then I get the mada. I get pride. Oh, I got it. And I show it off in the Instagram. Yes, I went here. Or if I don't get it, I'm angry. Krodha. If I give. So it all starts with the root thing called desire. Okay. If I get the desire, pride, mada. If I don't get the desire, angry, krodha. Lobha. If I, or if somebody gets it, if my friend gets it, matsarya, jealous. Oh, my friend got it. I didn't get it. Now I want to compete, compare, and do all that. And then, if I get it, I want some more. That's not sufficient. Lobha, greed, more and more. And if whatever I get it, I'm attached to. I don't want to let it go to. I didn't want to let it go to someone else. I didn't want to let it go at all. Moha, more of attachment. So, but Karma Yogi is not worried about any of these results. Karma Yogi is focused on the goal, is not affected with the results. How Krishna is telling is, what a person should be doing with the result is, in the 48th shloka, person should remain balanced and equanimous and fully accept the result just as it is. And he also says one should be highly skillful in the action. What is meant by being skillful? I learn to use it in a proper way. It's not the skill that Krishna is talking about here. Oh, I know to do an action. I know to do, say, dance, for example. I know to dance. I know to sing. It's not the skill of that skill which Krishna is talking. He's talking about the skill to learn to act, learn to handle the result. Like, for example, once what happens, Krishna and Balarama, when they were young, when they were in their childhood, uh, when they were in their teenagers. So Krishna and Balarama were now they went to Kamsa's palace, where Kamsa knew that he was expecting Krishna and Balarama, and he is all the time worried that Krishna is going to kill him. So he sent Chanura and Mushtikasura to kill Krishna and Balarama. What Krishna did was he uses the opponents. The opponent is Chanura, Mushtikasura. These Rakshasas, they are all very hefty, bigger than a wrestler. Okay. These two little boys, Krishna and Balarama, are only hardly 14, 15 years, teenagers. They don't have that much strength as much as Chanura has. What Krishna does is he uses the power of Chanura himself, the strength of Chanura against himself. He just slips off. He uses, so this is what a Karma Yogi does. Karma Yogi doesn't do hard work, too much hard work, need not work hard. Karma Yogi is fully involved, 100% involved in whatever work he or she is doing, but is working smart. That's what Krishna is trying to tell Arjuna here. You need to work smart, Arjuna. You don't have to run away, struggle, do all this. Okay? You need to work smart. How you work smart? Working smart itself is the skill which Krishna is talking about. So Krishna himself, Krishna as a little young teenage boy, he could not have killed Chanura or Mushtikasura. Okay, how he does? He uses their own power against themselves. So they are dead. They fall and they die. That's what he is doing. So you should be skillful enough to use it to the situation smartly. And coming to the this is the thing. Okay. So now, after talking about Karma Yoga, now Arjuna is asks, okay, Krishna, you told all this. Karma Yogi should do all this and then acquire Gnana. Then how does a Gnani work? What does a Gnani do? So Arjuna asked this question. So because Arjuna asked this question, now Krishna goes on to explain what a Gnani does. And with the help of this, we will also learn where we stand in our spiritual progress. Sorry, I will share again. I removed it. So this all we saw. This we will just revisit once quickly because this is important. So because of avidya, because of ignorance, because of the veil of ignorance, there is a desire, inner desires. Where is all this? It is all buried in the subconscious part of our mind. There is one conscious mind and there is one more called subconscious mind. All the subconscious patterns, all these programs, that is, it is all buried deep inside a person. Okay, deep in the sense it's really deeply buried. Okay, so many unwanted programs. It's not even visible to you in everyday life. Okay, and all these patterns that is stored, it comes up as thoughts. And just quickly tell me, do you think anyone can, or all of you can say, do you think Dhruv ji, Bona ji, Malati ji, Lokesh ji, Radha ji, do you think you all can come up on videos as well? Anyone can say, Lokesh ji, Dhruv ji.
Yes, ma'am. What is the question?
Do you think?
Do you think?
Huh,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we think.
you think. Where does the thought come from?
Where does that thought come from? It's based on our experiences and the situation and what we want to do. It's dependent on many things. So we think based on what we want to achieve, what we want to do, and
Huh.
what we
So
expect.
do you think or the thought comes?
Or think itself. Think, yeah, the thought comes basically based on whatever we see, whatever we hear, whatever we are involved with. Based
Huh.
on that, that thoughts can come.
Huh. So the thought happens to you. Thought appears. It
Yeah.
it it comes from the very all the subconscious patterns that is stored in a person. Okay, or because of all these thoughts, there are desires, and all these desires lead to unconscious actions. Okay, and all these unconscious actions lead to naturally lead to a result, karma phala. Either it could be a good result or a bad result. Say if I want to smoke, I naturally get something related to some lung issues or something. Now there is a result, and that will have another, another. It will replace
Chain
another.
reaction.
The impression will keep continuing, and it is a cycle. It doesn't stop. I
Ma'am, I
just
wanted to ask you one question.
tell me. Sorry.
Earlier, or maybe you are going to cover that, I don't know. But
Huh.
the you were saying about Krishna was saying Arjuna not to focus on the result, right? But
Focus on the
you,
result. Don't be affected by the
ah,
result.
yes, correct. So don't be
Huh.
affected by the result, but focus on the goal.
Yes.
So now what happens here is that goal is also dependent on the result actually. So like the end result in case of, let's take the example of Arjuna's case itself.
Hmm.
Now in Arjuna wanted to win the war,
Hmm.
but did not want to lose his relatives, cousins, everybody. He didn't want to kill them.
Hmm.
So that is part of end goal. So that's why he was affected there. But basically Krishna is saying, don't be affected by the result, just focus on the goal. But that means he's trimming the goal basically. He's saying, okay, there will be chances that your cousins, everybody will be get killed, but your goal is just winning the war. That's what he's saying basically, by the looks of it.
Huh. So what Krishna is telling is, now this whole war is for a dharmic activity. Now Arjuna and his brothers and his family, they were defamed and destroyed completely, basically, by the Kauravas. And those who are trying to support the Kauravas are standing in the adha side of the adharma. Okay. Now everything was ready. Getting getting to the point where they are about to fight, so much has happened. So much of preparation has gone behind before starting the war. So much have planning has gone. This is how the army should stand. This is how the king will come. This is how the warriors will fight. And the family who are back home, they are all preparing food for them. They are all waiting for them to finish the war. So much of planning has happened. Everybody is mentally prepared for the war to happen. Even Arjuna was prepared. That is why he is in the war field. He is in the battlefield. But because of the clarity that he is lacking, he is not able to, he shivers. He is not able to apply clarity in the war just before it is about to begin. He is ready. He is ready with his armor. He is ready with his weapons. Everything is ready. They are just about to blow the conch.
Yeah.
Everybody is mentally is also prepared. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, got you. I think I got the answer. So basically, in that case, Arjuna was trying to, mix up things. Basically, in simple
Ah,
terms, if you say that,
yes,
you know,
you are right. He got mixed up. Everything was ready. Everything was mentally prepared. Everything was ready. Because there was no clarity, his mind got clouded with attachment. This is called moha
yeah,
over here.
okay, got you.
Until then, he was fine. And he is not only telling, okay, I don't want to fight the war, not only that much. He's telling he will run away to the forest. He's telling all this. He's telling that he will. I understand you got the answer, but I will let me finish this
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah,
conversation.
good.
He is not only telling that he will not only fight the war, he will run away to the forest. He will meditate. If not, this will happen. If not, this will happen to the women in the country. That will happen. Also, he is also telling one more point. If ever I win the war, whom will I celebrate with? He is also thinking about the other possibility. If I win the war, my cousins who are in the other side, they will be dead. Where will I do the party with? Whom will I do the party with? Whom will I drink with? He's also thinking that possibility as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
He is not he's basically confused. What I'll do if I win? What if I don't win? What if I kill them? He's having too many things at a time. That's because of the attachment that he got with the and mainly it is with the his teacher who is on the side of the adharma, and his grandfather who is also with the Kauravas.
unwanted thoughts to your earlier question.
Huh.
Where does the thoughts come from? Thinking comes from. So probably because of that, he got mixed up there, confused.
Huh. And he got carried away with the thoughts as well.
Yeah, yeah,
His mind is clouded. He
yeah.
was not knowing what is dharma. So what used to happen in earlier why earlier days? Very recently, until very recently, all these before the War of Independence happened, until then there were kings, right? All the kings, they used to have Rajaguru, means the guru who used to advise the royal household, who used to advise the king what he should be doing to the country. The king, as an administrator, he cannot decide on everything. He need not have all the knowledge in the world to. He will be skillful, no doubt he will be skillful. He will be taught in a proper Gurukul where he'll be given right education of how he should administer the government, what he should do with the finances, how he should treat the people, how he should talk to the people, how everything, politics, everything is taught to him. and the warfare, everything is taught. But there are certain times when he'll not be able to take very big decisions and that sort of thing. Uh, um, all the kings in the past, they have had a guru who is a royal advisor. Okay, such a person will be a gnani, generally a gnani. Gnani will not have clouded mind. The mind of a gnani is never clouded, is of full clarity and crystal clear clarity on what should be done. And because there is no veil that is covering, or ignorance that is covering a gnani, gnani will be able to take up dharmic decisions properly. Such decisions will be passed on to the king, will be advised to the king, and then the king will go on to administer the government. So in this case, it is Arjuna. So Arjuna's mind is clouded. Arjuna is a king. Krishna takes up the role of the guru and he tells him, Arjuna, this is what is wrong, this is what is correct. Now you decide what you will be doing. Now, after telling this, now Krishna goes on to say, there is no death, there's not like this, nothing, there's no death and all that. Now, why there is no death, and all these conversations go on. And he also goes on to say, you are not doing anything at all, Arjuna. Nothing is happening through you. You are only the instrument. God is using yourself as an instrument for the war to happen. Even if not Drona, Bhishma, everybody would have been killed. Even if not, otherwise also they cannot be killed in that sense. They are only a body is they are throwing away one body and they'll take up another body. You cannot kill them. So he is giving Atma Gnana. And after this, now we are only in the second chapter, right? So we still have 16 more chapters where Arjuna goes on to ask many questions. More and more, he is inquisitive now. Oh, how no death? Now he is in big shock. No death? All this while I was thinking he passed away, she passed away, all this. We were mourning. How there is no death? How, what is this Atmagnana? What is Brahman? What is Karma Yoga? Now Arjuna will come up with many, many questions. So Krishna goes on to explain each and every question which Arjuna asks, like you all are asking. Okay. So I hope it is all okay, Lokeshji.
Yes, perfect.
Okay. You all can come up on video. It's okay. All right. Okay. Now Krishna goes on to explain who is a gnani. Now, how will I know where my spiritual progress is, how it is happening, whether it is happening or not, whether I'm spiritually progressing or not, very important. Or I'm simply learning Bhagavad Gita, I'm getting nowhere. That should not be the case. So, one thing we can assess yourself is whether the fire is getting reduced or not. You can assess yourself. See, this is all this is inner evolution. No one can see you and tell, oh, this person is spiritually evolved or not. By seeing externally, nothing can happen. You will have to say you go to a dinner party and you all start having food. After some point, after you have had plenty of meal, people, the server comes with the dessert. And what do you say? Oh no, I'm full. I cannot have the dessert. Somebody else cannot come and tell you, no, you are full. No, you are not full. You should have some more. Somebody cannot decide on your behalf. You will only have to assess yourself. Yes, I'm full. I don't need dessert. So in that way, spirituality also, you will know with how you will know with the intuitive uh, knowledge. That is the inner knowledge, inner insight. You will be able to know yourself. So how? The frequency, so all these emotional disturbances which we spoke, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, all these kind of things, all these are called emotional disturbances. And all these emotional disturbances, earlier it would have been, the frequency of it would have been too much. Anyone who comes to me would be like, oh, Pallavi is a very angry person. I cannot go to her. I cannot talk to her. I cannot approach her. All this kind of people would fear to come near me. Or how, I'm just taking anger as just one example. It's easier for us to relate. So a person would be very short tempered. But now, once I started getting Atmagnana, once I started learning Bhagavad Gita or my the spiritual progresses, the frequency of anger has come down. In a day, I used to get angry 10 times. Now it is only 5 times. Of course, it is still 5 times, but it has come down. Or once in 2 days, I just get anger only once in 2 days. So it has improved. And the intensity. Earlier, the intensity of my anger was way too much. I would go and break things. I would go and break my phone. I would go and throw away things that is in front of me. Now that is not the case. I'm able to control my anger. I'm able to be in certain limits. I'm able to see that I can control the anger. Uh, Next, the RE is recovery period, which earlier, when I was angry, I could not talk to anyone, whomever the person I was angry with, I could not talk to the person for 1 week. Now it has come down. After 1 or 2 days, I'm okay. After slowly, after some time, after 1 hour, my anger settles down. I'm able to face the person. I'm able to talk to the person. So in this case, I'm only taking anger as an example. It accounts to any kind of emotional disturbance a person could be going through. So is fire happening with me? Okay, is this all fire getting reduced basically? If it's reducing, yes, there is some spiritual progress that is definitely happening within you. And how this is happening? This is all happening. How this can be reduced, further reduced? How this can be further reduced is I because of the satsanga or because of the atma gnana or with Guru's grace, it can heal quickly, faster and faster. Now Arjuna asks, okay, okay, Krishna, you were talking about Gnani. How does a Gnani behave? You said no doership. How does a Gnani has no doership? Can you explain? So now Krishna goes on to explain what a Gnani is. Generally, I'll stop it again. Now you all tell me what a Gnani is, what an enlightened being is. What do you all know about an enlightened being? What strikes immediately when I say enlightened being, when I say Gnani, what comes in your mind first? Dhruvji?
Like the person who is able to take a correct decision,
Okay. What comes to
and
your
he
mind
is
first?
like first thing is like the person is aware about consciousness activities around himself, and he's not trying to being affected, and that happens gradually by like as you were telling, like gaining knowledge
Okay.
and being in the people surroundings, and
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Lokeshji, you wanted to say something?
Uh, yes, ma'am. Gnani, uh, you know, what comes into mind is, yeah, he is a very calm and controlled person. That's what comes into our mind. So,
Okay.
he's able to control his emotions. He's a knowledgeable person. That sort of picture comes into our mind.
Into your mind. Malati ji, Bhuvana ji, Varuni ji, Radha ji. Varuni ji.
Jnani is someone who is way above normal human beings, is what I get in my mind when I hear
Okay.
that word.
Yeah. Okay. Bhuvana ji, Malati ji, Radha ji. Okay. Okay. Yes, Bhuvana ji. If you wanted to say something.
Who know what is right, what is wrong.
Sorry.
Gnani is who know what is right, what
Hmm.
is wrong.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. So generally, when people say Gnani, they immediately imagine a saffron robe, big beard, very big this thing, or some kind of physically. Okay, physically to see a person is isolated from the society or all these kind of imaginations that we immediately for our this thing. Most of the people think like that. You all have given very high standard answers. So basically what people think is, person should be with very big beard, so then he'll be called a guru or a gnani or all that. Physical impression, the appearance should be in a certain way. If a person wears a jeans, the person will not be called gnani. If a person, can a lady be a gnani? Can a girl be a gnani? Even that kind of questions come up. Okay, so one thing only, there is only one speciality for a gnani. Only one speciality, that the gnani is not special at all. Gnani will look just like you and me. There is no speciality. People in the society, they have, because of the TV media and all the books and all the stories that we have, or the even that is the programming that has happened. Gnani should look like this. If he doesn't look, he or she doesn't look like that, then they are not gnani. Even that is a way of programming that has happened. Gnani will look just like you and me. He's not going to be any different. He's going to is a very simple person, very very simple person. Okay, he or she, it can be he or she. This is very important. It can be she as well. So uh, there are plenty of many women in the Vedic period who were gnanis. Okay, there are plenty of stories. Just that they have not become famous. These days, it is becoming famous as well. So yeah, so it can be a he or she. First thing, he or she can have he can have a beard or need not have a beard. Can wear a saffron robe or need not wear a saffron robe. This has nothing to do with the external appearance. The person is internally self-realized, internally Brahmanishta. How another person will be able to see? Will I be able to know whether the other person is gnani or see in the pictures and all, in some pictures or in TV serials or drama or any movies, they would have shown their hand, a light coming out of their hand, or some light behind their head, or all this kind of imagination they have put in our brains. So we imagine something should happen, some magical thing should be happening with a person. If there is no magical thing happening, then that person is not gnani. Nothing like that. Okay, so gnani is internally realized, self-realized person, is a brahmanishta. So Krishna goes on to say, such a person is not affected by uh, any kind of differences the environment throws up. Okay. Uh, so he says, when dukkha comes, when it is suffering, he doesn't shake. He doesn't get disturbed too much. He or she doesn't. If I don't use the word she, please assume, take it into consideration that it is applicable for girl as well, women as well. Okay, he or she will not be disturbed with the external situations, whether it is dukkha or sukha, both. Okay, whether it is suffering or it is joy, he or she will take it in the equanimously, will not be elated when it is a happy mood, or will not be depressed when it is a sad mood. It doesn't mean gnani doesn't react or anything like that. Oh, you give something to gnani, he or she doesn't know, is not going to react. No, no, they are going to show reaction. They will not show reaction, instead they will act properly according to the need of the situation. They will be happy, they will be joyful, even they can be upset, but they will come out immediately. They will know what to do next, what right action should be taken at that point of time. And uh, will I be able to know if a person is gnani? One thing that I can say is, if what I have felt, my internal experience, I'll say that if when I am in front of a gnani, I feel my mind becomes calm. Generally, a person's mind what it is doing is all the time it's jumping between past and future, past and future, past and future, not in the present moment. But if a person goes near a gnani, the mind immediately gets absorbed and it becomes calm. It doesn't jump between past and future. It becomes calm, at least for the time when the person is in front of the gnani. Why? Because gnani himself or herself is tranquil. There is an inner peace that gnani has attained. There's inner tranquility the gnani has attained. And gnani doesn't have any sense of incompleteness within himself or herself. Uh, why this past and future things keep happening in my mind is because there is something that I feel not complete. I want to go and grab it. I want to go and finish it. I want to go and do it so that I can become happy. If I don't do that, I'll not be happy. Okay, so my mind all is always thinking I want to go and do it, which is still in the future. Whereas Nani has realized wherever he is happiness. So Gnani's mind will not be thinking about past or future. Wherever Gnani is, that is happiness. Now, for example, say I like ice cream. I eat ice cream. And when I stop eating ice cream, I think that I go to the past. Oh, the taste of the ice cream was nice. Again, my mind is in the past. I'm not in the present. When I'm looking into the window, I'm not eating the ice cream. My other hand is holding the ice cream. My mind is in the past moment, just a moment before. When I say past, it's just one moment before. The taste was good. Again, it became was because it was a moment before. Now I'm not eating. Whereas, even now, what happens when I eat ice cream is when I eat ice cream, the same thing, doer, deed, and action, everything become one. The doer, Pallavi, the deed, the product, the ice cream, the action, eating, all these three become one. Because it all three is three, I get completely involved in the this eating thing. Moment I connect to the Brahman, to Brahman. At that moment, the mind is absorbed. It becomes silent. Because the mind is silent, I feel happy. And when I remove the ice cream, again for me, I go to the previous moment. Oh, I was happy. In fact, even at this moment, when I'm just looking at the window, instead of thinking that if I eat the ice cream, I'll be happy, or if I get something, I'll be happy, something like that. Instead of thinking like that in the past or in the future, only by looking at the window, if this doer deed action, if all these three gets connected, even now, I can be happy. And for that, the doer should get dissolved in the doer deed action. In that triputi, it should get dissolved. There should be no doership. When there is no doership, the mind becomes absorbed and it becomes silent. And in that silence of the mind, I feel happiness. There's no doership at that moment. It's a very tiny moment. And it should increase. Okay? And we should keep practicing this. Say, somebody says, I learned, do you know to sing? Yeah, I know to sing. When did you learn? Yeah, I learned it when I was young. In my school days, I learned it all. Shastriya Sangeet, I learned. Can you sing now? No, I can't sing. Now it is so many 20, 30 years. Now I forgot to sing. If I don't practice, what will happen? It's a forgotten thing. If I sing, everybody will run away. Nobody wants me to listen to me to sing, right? So, because I've not practiced it. So this Karma Yoga, moment to moment, if I practice in every other work that I'm doing, every other little work, even pressing the clothes, even ironing the clothes, I can make it a Karma Yoga. Tomorrow I should go to office, I should iron my clothes. I'm not liking the job. When I'm not liking the job, it doesn't become Karma Yoga. There's a Viyoga. Viyoga means not yoga. You're not engaging the mind in the action. So the doership is not dissolved. Doership is not, the mind is not absorbed. There is no silence of the mind. Oh, I'm not liking it. I should go to office. I should, keep complaining. Mind keeps complaining. So karma yoga is not happening. So I should practice karma yoga. Then the purification will happen moment to moment, moment to moment, moment to moment. And when will the self-realization happen? Will the self-realization happen if I do karma yoga for 10 years? No. If it happens now and here. Again, now and here. God is not after 10 years. God is here and now. And God is in everything. Sarvam khalvidam Brahma. So, Krishna goes on to say, So what is with Gnani? Gnani there's no doership in Gnani. Whether there is ice cream or not, whether there is something that gives pleasure or not, Gnani is always happy. There is a fountain of happiness within the Gnani. There's an inner happiness, inner tranquility. Wherever the Gnani is calm. Gnani is, uh, uh, you know, uh, full of happiness. It's like easiest example given in Vedanta. We take up all the examples from Vedanta only. When I say Vedanta, it's all taken up from the Upanishads. The easiest example given in the Vedanta is the wave. Say there is a sea, okay? There are waves. The waves are the individual jivatmas. You can consider like that. Is the wave separate from the water? Anyone? Is the wave? No, wave is not separate from the water. Wave is water. But what I am thinking, I am separate from God. I am separate from the world. The moment the wave realizes, wave is like the individual jivatmas, like I said. The moment the wave realizes I am water, that is self-realization. When is it? Is it after 10 years? Is it after 10 years, after doing 10 years of yoga, will the wave become water? Wave cannot become water. Wave is already water. Wave should only realize that I am water. What will the little wave think? Oh, there is a big wave. Comparison. Oh, that wave is very big, bigger than me. I am very small. And if there is a much tiny wave than mine, oh, that wave is tiny. I am big. The pride. Or all these kind of things happen. Whereas that moment when the wave realizes that wave is water, that is the self-realization. And Gnani is a self-realized person. There are plenty of, and how many Gnanis are there? There are plenty of Gnanis. Many Gnanis. Ramana Maharshi. We can give many examples. Ramana Maharshi, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Jiddu Krishnamurti, or Bhagwan Rajneesh, or Mata Amritanandamayi, or Prabhuji, Krishnaji. All these people are Gnanis, are enlightened beings, are self-realized masters. They are no different. They look just like us. They look just, even for Arjuna, until Krishna took up the role of the Guru in the second chapter, like I said, from the 7th shloka, when he told, Shishyasteham Shadhimam Tvam Prapannam, he told, I am your Shishya Krishna. Until then, Arjuna did not know that Krishna was Bhagwan. Arjuna was only thinking Krishna was his cousin. Arjuna was only thinking Krishna was his friend. Krishna did not have four legs four hands, all that. That is all picturization of artists. Artists have very beautiful, this thing. They painted that way. Krishna was normal, okay, with two hands, two legs, normally, okay. He was only normal. Even whatever everybody could see, even Arjuna could see that only. But when he surrendered to him, he could see the divinity in Krishna. Krishna took up the role of the Guru, and Arjuna could see the divinity in Krishna. And over the course of Bhagavad Gita, by 10th chapter, he will show his Vishwarupa to Arjuna. He will show his divine form. to Arjuna. Then Arjuna is able to connect to the godliness which Krishna had. Before showing up the Vishwarupa to Arjuna, Krishna showed, this was not the first time which Krishna showed Vishwarupa. Before showing it to Arjuna, Krishna showed the Vishwarupa to Duryodhana as well. So the first person to receive the Vishwarupa was Duryodhana actually in the court. But what did Duryodhana did? He told, "Oh Krishna, you are doing some magic on me," and he pulled, he set up a trap for Krishna to fall from the seat where he was sitting into the underground, and from there he had to escape and all that. So basically, Krishna showed the Vishwarupa to Duryodhana as well. Duryodhana did not believe. So, Bhagwan is present, could be present in an individual. It's the way we see it depends on the way we see it. If we have the character of a Duryodhana inside us, inside you and me, then we will not be able to see Krishna. If I have Arjuna inside me, then I will be able to see Krishna. So I should inculcate and develop more of the sattvic qualities to basically from a karmi to dharmi to karma yogi, I should become more and more purified, more and more evolved. And so when I said the wave has realized the water, the jiva has realized oneness with Brahman. Not has become, I told wrongly. Jiva has realized oneness with Brahman. So, what is the difference between a gnani and a normal person? What is real for you and me? The world is real. The time and space is real. All this is real. But for a gnani, Bhagwan is real. Brahman is real. All this world is appearing and disappearing. It's appearing and disappearing. All this body, mind, intellect, the world, everything for a gnani is appearing and disappearing. But how this is happening? This is happening so very fastly that you and me are not able to grasp it. To grasp it, do the Karma Yoga, purify oneself. How do I do Karma Yoga? I give my complete 100% in any job that I'm doing. So the inner purification happens. The moment to moment yoga happens. And I get purified. And the fire is reduced. I'm able to see the spiritual progress within me. That's how the jnana will happen. So this is the second chapter, summary of the second chapter, Sankhya Yoga. Hopefully I've included everything. If there is anything that is that I might have left, it's all, anyway, it is all flowing, right? It's not, we are sticking on to this particular topic, nothing like that. Anything that I might have forgot, we'll try to include it in the later chapters. So next week we can take up the Karma Yoga, which is the third chapter. That chapter is exclusively Karma Yoga. So in this chapter, we might think we spoke about Karma Yoga in detail. No, actually that chapter talks exclusively about Karma Yoga. That is very, very important chapter for everyone, because first we become the Karma Yogi, only then we'll be able to realize Jnana, realize Brahman. So first we should, like I said, the stepwise evolution of a Jivatma. First we all become Karma Yogi first. We learn how to be a Karma Yogi. So in the Karma Yoga chapter, we learn what is Pancha Mahayagna. It looks like a big word. It is a very, we don't have to worry about it. It's all simplified. Krishna has simplified it for us. So we'll discuss what is Pancha Mahayagna in the next chapter. And little more about Karma Yoga. That's how it is. So this is it for today. Any doubts for today? Okay. Can we close for today? Okay. Let's close the class with ending prayers. Kayena vacha
कायेन वाचा
मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा
मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा
एव
बुद्ध्यात्मना वा
बुद्ध्यात्मना वा
बुद्ध्यात्मना भा
प्रकृते स्वभावात्
प्रकृते स्वभाव
स्वभावात्
करोमि यद्यत्
करोमि यद्यत्
सकलं परस्मै
सकलं परस्मै
नारायणायेति
नारायणायेति
समर्पयामि
समर्पयामि
श्रीमन्नारायणायेति
श्रीमन्नारायणायेति
समर्पयामि
समर्पयामि
लोकाः समस्ताः
लोकाः समस्ताः
सुखिनो भवन्तु
सुखिनो भवन्तु
लोकाः समस्ताः
लोकाः समस्ताः
सुखिनो भवन्तु
सुखिनो भवन्तु
हरिः ओम्
हरिः ओम्
श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः
श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः
हरिः ओम्
हरिः ओम्
slowly opening. Thank you everyone. Hari Om.
हरि ओम् थैंक यू पल्लवी जी
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Thank you.
हरि ओम् थैंक यू
Hari Om.
Hari.